Guys, welcome back to DIY with me. Today, as you see, I have a styrofoam wreath and some yarn, and I also have a rotary cutter and a pencil, and a Sharpie and a ruler, and my handy dandy trusty hot glue gun over here to the side, as well as some yellow pom-poms. Now, this is a simple and easy craft that you can make. We are going to be doing a St. Patrick's Day craft, and I have a piece of hair on this styrofoam. Let me see if I can get it off. We're going to be doing a St. Patrick's Day craft. And when you think about St. Patrick's Day, you think about leprechauns, and then you think about leprechauns, you think about rainbows in the pot of gold. So we're going to be making a rainbow out of this styrofoam wreath. If you want to make a couple, you absolutely can make a couple. But what I did was I went ahead and measured out, because I know Roy G. Biv, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. That is the way it's going to go on the rainbow, because that's what I've always learned in school, Roy G. Biv. So I wanted to show you how you can make this. What I went ahead and did was I went ahead and measured across. I knew it was 6 inches here. So, or actually it's 5. But I went ahead and measured across. So that would be halfway point. So it's right about here. I went ahead and did all that measuring. And then what I did after that is I measured out, since I know that I have 7 pieces and I measured across and knew it was 7 inches. I measured out an inch of each, inch apart, so I knew when to start my next color. So the first thing you're going to do is try to get this hair off. Be careful when you're working if you have hair or anything else on there, because it sticks to the styrofoam really bad. Now, first thing you're going to do is I'm going to actually cut it a little bit longer, and you can use your rotary cutter. I've never used one of these before, so I don't know exactly how it works. Here it goes. And you're just going to come across, and I'm actually going to give myself a little bit of leeway, and you're just going to saw down on it to cut it. If you don't have a rotary cutter, you can absolutely use your scissors. You can use a steak knife. You can go get your husband to cut it for you if you want, if he has a saw, but you're just going back and forth in the motions. Now I'm going to go and do this side really quick so you guys can see it. And as you see, I'm working with a different ruler than I have been working with for a while, only because I know that I will need different sizes when I'm in my office. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back around, and I'm just going to come and I'm just going to draw a straight line with my Sharpie to the back so that I can work on the other side. Sometimes a big ruler, you can't absolutely use it in certain places. It's great if you could pick up one of these at your local dollar store. It's like the geometry. Actually, this one I didn't pick up at a dollar store. This one we found it when we were going through my mom's stuff. So it's great to have. It has its own little case. So as you see, I went ahead and drew on the back, and I'm just going to come around. So sometimes it works better if you work on both sides, get it down, and then when you flip it back over, you can actually do it on the other side. But I'm going to come on the other side and work it and cut it. Now, I absolutely could have prepped this way ahead of time, but I wanted to show you guys from start to finish how easy this craft was. I'm going to come here on this side because it's not been cut yet. See, you see how I just did it? I just pulled it and broke it apart a little bit. This side once again. And that's a really great thing about these rotary cutters, is that you can actually just see it closes and opens like this, and then you have a little thing where it doesn't open at all. So it's a little safety switch. But when you're working with something like this, I would 100% use it. Go ahead and pull that up. There we go. So now you have a chance to make 2 rainbows or use this for something else. So I'm going to set that aside. I'm also going to put my other protractor, little geometry kit thing in here, and put that aside and put this aside. Now, like I said, it's Roy G. Biv. So it's red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. So I'm going to start off with my red yarn. I always pull those things off because they're just getting in my way. And what you're going to do is you're just going to, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to tie it, and then I'm going to add a little bit of hot glue to it, because I know this is going to slip and slide. This one's probably one of the harder crafts that we're going to do because it's a little bit time consuming. So I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to add some hot glue down here on the bottom, just so that it will stay in place when I go to wrap it. And then if you have something to work with your hot glue, don't worry if you don't get it all the way down to the end, because you're going to end up covering it with your pot of gold. Let me see if I have something here that I can use. I'm just going to use this because I don't want to get burned. Okay, so there we go. I'm going to go ahead and cut off this excess right here that I just did with my regular scissors. And now what you're going to do is you're just going to wrap your rainbow. Just wrap it until you get to the mark that you made. Now you could eyeball it, but I wanted to make sure that I had a mark. And I'll probably come back and add some more red on the bottom after I do all this. When you get to the part right here where you do it, you're just going to do the same thing that you did. But this time, when you go to do your yarn, you're going to put, I'm going to hold my yarn really tight. You're going to put a little bit of hot glue right there so that it holds. And see, it's already moving. It's already moving back because it didn't hold. So we got our red done. Roy G. Biv. Next one is orange. So I'm going to go ahead and put this back in this little thing to keep it contained so it's not all over the place. Next one is orange. Now, orange, you won't have to worry about going back and doing the hot glue with that one, because it's not going to fall off. So what you're going to do, once again, you're just going to come and tie it in a knot. Don't worry about placement of it right now. You just want to tie it so that you can start it. Then you're going to come and cut off that excess, stick it to the side. Then you're going to start wrapping again. And my scissors are in the way. And you're just going to wrap. It's okay if it overlaps, but I'm going to pull it down just a little bit. You see where it's overlapping right here? I'm going to pull it down a little bit. And you're just going to create, 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 create. You can push it down if you see where that thing is pushing out. And you're just going to, a couple more times. I don't know why this one's going, it's harder for me. Maybe it's the reason why, the way I'm wrapping it. Okay, I'm just going to fill in the hard spots, the bald spots, I should say. And then come back with my scissors, cut it. I'm going to go ahead and put this one back here so it's out of my way. Put it back in here and over to the side. Now I know that this one is going to be on the back side. So don't you just love it when you have extension cords and the extension cords want to get tangled with everything and anything that you're working with? That is my extension cord today. And you're just going to lay it down. So we have red, orange. Now we're on to yellow. Once again, you're going to just come and tie it on, knot it. Like I said, it doesn't matter the placement because you can move it down. You just want it to where you can work with it a little bit. And that one didn't have a lot of excess on it. So you don't need to cut it. You're just going to go around it and make sure it's covered. And you're just going to move it around and move it around and move it around. This would be a great craft if you're like watching TV. You're like, I really feel guilty about sitting down and watching Netflix or watching Hulu or just watching any program on TV. And you really like, I really need to be doing something productive with my life. You can do this. It can be productive. So we got the yellow done. And I'm going to cut the excess off. And we're going to add hot glue. I think hot glue is going to go right underneath here. The only reason why I'm adding hot glue is because I don't want the colors to run into each other. I don't want it to run off. But see, so far we've got 3 colors. Now I'm going to roll this back up and stick it back in here. You don't have to do this right at the moment. I wish I had a brighter green, but I don't. I'm just using yarn that I have supplies of. You can use any color yarn you want. As far as this in the color combo, you can use like a pale pink if you want. But we're almost halfway there. I got excess on this one. So I'm going to take the excess off. And see where this one's sticking up a little bit right here? What you're going to do is you're just going to come and you're just going to, whoops, I thought I had it the right way, but I didn't. Just overlap so that it covers up the excess. Now you don't have to have your rainbow perfectly symmetrical, but I knew it was going to drive me crazy. That's why I went ahead and did an inch apart and marked them so that I knew when to start another color. You can do what feels right for you. So now we're on this part. I'm just going to go over and look for any holes I may have, any stuff that I may have missed. Okay. So now I'm back here at the end again. Snip it because I want it to end on the back side. And hot glue. And I'm going to use my pen to lay it down. Oh, and guess what? It did not lay down. Hold it in place. There we go. I'm going to put this back on the green so that it's not all over the place and it's not unraveling and gets stuck with everything. Next one we have is our blue. This is a brilliant blue. I didn't have a dark blue, so I used this brilliant blue. Blue is actually one of my favorite colors. And this color of blue is actually one of my favorite colors of all time. So I am really starting, as you see, like I said, this is what, 14 minutes in now. Go ahead and cut your excess off. If you want to have a bag for scraps, make sure you have your bag for scraps. You know, I always say that you should have a plastic bag when you're working with something. That way, when you get ready, everything, as you're doing it, you can just throw everything in your trash bag and it's less cleanup at the end. So I'm wrapping, and we're down here to the end of blue, but I'm going to go back real quick and do one quick wrap around. And we're going to cut, set that to the side. Once again, repeating with our hot glue gun. And we're going to put this here. Okay. Now, indigo. We're almost there, guys. Almost there. We almost have our rainbows covered. Go ahead and put this back in. Like I said, this is going to be, like I said, the harder craft because of the time it takes to wrap the yarn. You may, if you want to look at how you can create a wreath using the yarn wrapping method, I actually have a wreath on the channel that you can go look at. And I'll drop the links below. I'll drop where you can go look at that video. So I'm going to go cut the excess and then wrap. Now this is such an easy craft. And this is great because a lot of times you can use this for Easter as well with the rainbow. You can tell the kids the story of the rainbow, of, you know, God's promise to never flood the earth again. Why do I have extra? So guess what? I think my rainbow is going to be a little different. I'm going to add a different color to it. I'm going to see if I find a pink. Because I realized I had 7 and I thought I had 7 spots, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I should have cut there. Yeah, that's okay. I'm going to add some pink to it. That's the great thing about when you're working with yarn. You can add anything you want with it. So we're going to make a little bit different color. Okay, so I'm going to go here real quick in my craft cabinet and see if I can find a pink. And I do have a light pink or a gray. I know I might do a gray. I think a gray would work better than the light pink. So I'm going to do a gray. So we have that done. That piece was kind of hanging out there. All right, so I'm going to put this back on here. And see, it just shows you that sometimes when you're creating a craft, your mind is set on something. You're going, I'm going to do this. And then you realize after you've done it that it's like, whoops, I did it, but I did it wrong. And then all you have to do is worry about, you can fix it. You can take, one thing about DIY is you can make it your own. So if I wanted to make that rainbow a different, like a gray at the end, that's what I'm going to do. So now that I have this, I have the excess, cut it off. And whoops, I thought I tied a really other knot, but apparently I didn't because it came off again. So let me tie this again. And we're going to tie this again. Okay, it's kind of loose. Excess off. And you're just going to wrap and wrap and wrap and wrap. I'm trying to get this little bit right here off. So I'm just going to go over this little spot, go over this little spot, go over this little spot. And we're going over it again, over it again, over again. Okay, there we go. Going to cut off the extra. And I don't know exactly where this is going to land. It's going to land right about here. So I'm just going to put my hot glue gun and hold it in place. All right. So as you saw, I messed up a little bit and I did not calculate right when I cut. So what I'm going to do, like I said, is I'm going to go and I think I'm going to add the pink just because I think the pink would be okay to add to the bottom because you're really not going to see a lot of it anyways. And it goes back to that spectrum. So what I'm going to do is I'm I am doing the knot. For some reason, my hands do not want to work. You're going to cut the excess off. And then you're going to just wrap until you get the end done. Now, this is when you're going to have to put the bead of hot glue and when you're wrapping. Okay, so we're wrapping, but I'm doing it with the hot glue. Yeah, because it's going to fall off. The hot glue is sticking to my hands and it's really hot. Ooh, I just burned myself. Don't you just love that when it happens? I thought it was off the yarn, but it wasn't. This is a messy part, the cleaning part up. That's the whole point of having the extra pieces. I'm just going to go ahead and cut right here. So I'm not dealing with all this yarn. I have a piece on my... Okay, I'm going to go ahead and see if I can add a couple pieces right there. And I'm going to see if I can finish this out on the bottom. Just to push it in so it stays on the bottom. Sticking to this, but not that. Okay, why are you not sticking? Get off there. It's sticking to this, but not this. Okay, maybe we got it. There we go. We got it. So now we have, don't worry about it looking messy at the ends because we're going to actually put the pot of gold now. I'm going to go ahead and put this down. And as you remember, when I made the bunny banner, I told you that I had some pom-poms or some little things that were left over from my garland. And I actually have a big yellow one if I wanted to put the big yellow one there. Kind of cute, right? Right? Kind of cute. And then I could put another big yellow one over here. Cute, right? Really cute. Cute, huh? Cute. Or what I could do is I can alternate and put like 3 here. And 1 over here. But I kind of like the big ones. So, because I think the big ones are going to cover up everything. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a little bit of hot glue to the end and stick on my pom-pom. And of course, what happens? But luckily I have it out and it's out and proud over here and we are ready to go. And I have my hot glue stick on my craft cart that I use when I'm prepping for these. And you're just going to stick it on and hold it in place. And you're going to pull up and pull off all the strings that are strands that are hanging on. This one is just hanging on for dear life. You're just going to pull it up. Okay, there we go. And here you go, guys. A cute little rainbow that we used with yarn, a styrofoam wreath, and I may need to come back and add a little bit of hot glue on this one. Styrofoam wreath, hot glue gun, and some pom-poms. You could actually save some time and money, and you can make your own pom-poms, and I may do a DIY on that soon. But there you go, a rainbow for St. Patrick's Day. You can take a piece of your yarn if you wanted to, or a piece of clear fishing wire, and hang it up on your window, hang it from your chandelier. If that's the case, I would, if you were hanging it up so it's not against the wall because you see the back end, I would come back and put something on the other side. Like if you had another one of these, more of these pom-poms, put them on the other side. But there you go, guys. A cute little rainbow for your St. Patrick's Day that you can actually put a little leprechaun beside it. You can put the gnome that we made with it. Be really cute for, and also you could still use it for Easter because it kind of looks like a bunny's tail, doesn't it? So until next time, guys, be blessed, and most importantly, keep crafting, like this video and subscribe to the channel. Bye.